What's going on, YouTube? How everything went wrong for Nick Briz. Now, if you don't know who Nick Briz is, Nick Briz was a basketball YouTuber who was on top of the YouTube basketball world at one point in time. But everything came down when I think it had something to do with Cash Nasty. But I remember people were saying he was faking his videos after people found that out. Nah, they wasn't fucking with they wasn't fucking with Nick Briz at all. He had a beef with somebody. I don't remember what it was though. He had a beef with somebody. Somebody.
I've seen on YouTube was probably the best it's ever been. You had various popular YouTubers playing in 1v1s. There was all types of reactions.
Yeah, back in like 2024, basketball YouTube content was the way.
This was a lane mainly dominated by two popular creators at the time,
Nick Briz and
Frida and the one
Cam.
and only Nick Briz. And while both of them completely dominated the space, it was also for two completely different reasons, which has unfortunately led to the making of this video, because while Frida has since gone on to become one of the most loved and popular creators within the basketball space, Nick Briz, on the other hand, managed to do the complete opposite. But what exactly did he do? Why was it so bad? And how did he... I remember
it had to do something with Cash. I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember the specific time when people were drifting away from Nick Briz. I didn't like Nick Briz to begin with, to be honest with you, due to the fact that nigga would always let Carlos talk the most shit when Carlos was the assest nigga on the court, bro. That nigga Nick Briz would let Carlos talk the most shit I have ever seen from a person, but not do anything to back it up. Carlos would just be chucking shit, bro. And then he'd crash out. Man.
Basketball creators on the internet to one of the most hated. Well, that's probably what you're here to figure out. But first, if you're new to the channel,
Didn't something have to do with Kai?
First link down below my description.
Didn't it?
To join my Discord,
Or am I tripping?
I'm an official member of the community. Now, with all of that being said, let's get into how
Nick Briz
ruined his YouTube career.
It had to do with something with Kai. I'm remembering a little bit. Did it? It had to do with somebody. It had to do with another YouTuber. I just don't remember.
So to start, for those of you unfamiliar with Nick Briz,
Get that nigga on my screen.
A few years ago on Instagram, he began going viral on the platform due to his insane vertical,
which he did have an insane vert. I ain't gonna lie.
Super flashy or something that would win an NBA dunk contest, but his vertical was so insane that it looked like he was literally floating through the air.
Look at that nigga Carlos.
And these videos would end up spreading all across.
Look at that nigga Carlos. I just realized Carlos just turned over the ball. Look at Carlos. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
Floating through the air at times.
That nigga just passed it to the other teammate. Nigga said, "Fuck it. Here you go."
These videos would end up spreading all across the internet, specifically Instagram. And with these videos going viral on the internet, it led to him getting some opportunities within the basketball space, such as partnering up with a well-known basketball company known as Ball is Life, which is a popular media company that covers all.
I remember, bro. He was cold. For a nigga with one hand, he was cold. Ugh.
College to even the professional.
Body to lily.
So of course, being partnered with a platform like this will help Nick kickstart his basketball career on social media. This is when he will switch over to YouTube back on January 14th, 2020. And of course, he will initially start his career with park takeovers, but his videos at the time had a very similar concept early on. At first, much like his Instagram content, his YouTube videos was really focused around his ability to dunk and jump high.
They were.
It led to him posting some tutorials on how to jump higher and further. And while these tutorial videos did pretty well for him to start, Nick would quickly realize that to be successful on YouTube and in social media in general, he would have to become some sort of menace, because there's nothing that the internet loves more
than a menace. Yeah,
this is when
drama.
YouTube content would switch from being purely about basketball to being more about the negative side of the sport.
Okay.
So he ended up creating a team known as the Savage Squad, which quickly became known
Which
for
was
their
trash.
style and their
Not everybody was trash. I ain't gonna lie. Some people on the team was good. Nick was good. Big Dude was good. Abraham was good. Yeah, that's everything.
There's some trash talking, and due to their toxicity on the court, it seems
that nigga.
the video consisted of them getting into some sort of fight or physical altercation, which led to most of these videos going insanely viral. These videos were
that's that one dude. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Ain't that him? That look like him. Bro, I also remember Nick Briz had that nastiest shot. But that motherfucker would always, not always, but that shit would go in. Bro, Nick would jump. Like he did like a Michael Jordan, not trying to laze, but he do like a Michael Jordan type of jump shot. Like he jump in the hold that bit, be in the air for a little bit, and he'd make it, but like it's just nasty. It ain't the same way Jordan did it, but like the way he just jumped, he puts all his force into his jumps with his jump shot, and just be like, huh.
Most of these videos going insanely viral. These videos will end up blowing up all over YouTube, and before you know it, Nick would hit his first ever 100,000 subscribers. And once he got to that point, there was no looking back. Fans were intrigued to see what was next for the Savage Squad, what city was they going to, what park were they taking over, and more importantly, what altercation was going to break out next. They went to just about every major city.
Yeah, him. He cold. I ain't gonna lie.
They went to just about
this dude is cold. I haven't seen nothing about him. I haven't seen nothing about no Savage Squad since. But I know he was good. Yeah, he was cold.
Every major city you can think of, really focus on the rougher or hood type areas.
Yeah.
Even went to popular hoods like O-Block.
Hey, yeah, that's definitely the plan. We coming out the woods, boy. We out here about a block from O-Block.
Nah, I don't care how much money I would've got. I'm cool. I'm cool. You know how many people have played basketball here? In O-Block, nigga? You know, there's probably a nigga out there playing basketball right now with a toolie in his pocket. I'm cool. One false move. Split it, nigga. I'm cool. I'm cool.
I'm a little scared.
With each hood they visited, it seemed like the situations they got involved in became more and more tense. Even sometimes resulted in shots ringing off. At the time, there was no basketball park interviews that were more entertaining than
he was called for a big dude too. I ain't gonna lie.
And I'm sure many people that was around at that time would agree with me, because every single video Nick Briz posted to his YouTube channel was doing nearly 1 million views, if not more. He was doing these numbers relatively easily, which triggered reactions from some of the top YouTubers in the community, such as Cash.
Fly Reacts.
At this point, not only Nick, but the entire Savage Squad probably felt like they were at the top of the world. I mean, as
they probably did.
Said, literally every posted was doing nearly 1 million views.
Oh, it was Duke. I'm sitting here thinking there was somebody had beef with Nick. Somebody, I don't remember who it was. I don't remember if it was mainly Duke that caused some of the tension. Not tension, but like, you know what I mean? Like caused the downfall. But like, I knew it had to do with another YouTuber, and somebody had to do something. It was Duke. I forgot about that. I just realized these the D Block boys, boy. The nigga, the D Block boys.
Subscribers per day.
D Block dude.
Just 100,000 subscribers to well over 600,000 subscribers in just a matter of a few.
Are they cooking in D Block?
Fortunately for Nick, this high would only last for so long, because as fast as he got to the top of the industry, he would end up falling just as quickly.
Yeah.
Everything took place on September 20th, 2021, shortly after Nick Briz would announce via Instagram that the team was pulling up to New York to play in the infamous Rucker Park, urging him to pull up and bring out some of the best hoopers in the city, as he's always looking to recruit new people to the team.
Saying we recruiting at all times.
I ain't never seen no recruitment. Y'all niggas hoop with the same niggas. I ain't never seen no new people on that team. Y'all hoop with the same niggas. You talking about recruitment. You just trying to get people out there. He's just trying to get people out there.
At all times, bro. Bring the city out. Y'all bring the hoopers out and let's fucking get after it, bro.
And moments after this, Chris White, a popular member of the Savage Squad,
oh yeah,
Instagram to inform social media of his departure.
Yeah.
Stating that they were fakes instead of savages, and also including a bunch of police emojis within his post as well. This sent the internet into a frenzy because Chris was one of the fan favorites of the team.
He was.
Because whenever altercation started,
he'd be the first one there.
Center of it.
Yep.
Whether he was pressing someone or tussling with another, 9 times out of 10, any fight you've seen,
because of Chris,
had something to do with Chris White. So obviously, this caught fans off guard with him leaving, especially on the same day that
Get him.
And while many people were surprised, Chris would waste no time eventually telling the world what sparked all of this. And while in the process, he will also expose Nick for not only faking his content, but for also not paying his players who are
okay.
Recorded a conversation, me and Carlos. But homie just had Carlos go on live and be like, tell the people how much, how great you're doing, because I give you $1,200 a month and these people are kind enough to let you stay in their house. Homie want to jump on live and have people talk about I'm having a mental breakdown.
Carlos undefeated.
Free Carlos.
Out of 38,000, nigga, I get a 500. But I'm suing you, nigga. Oh nah, bruh. Hell nah. 38,000. Cause also Carlos, I ain't gonna lie, Carlos was ass. I'm not gonna sit here and say Carlos was good, but Carlos brought entertainment to the videos. He was a big part of that too. So the fact that nigga only got 500, that's nuts. Out of 38,000. Damn, you greedy bitch.
He gave him $500, then $600 last month, which is $1,100, my guy.
That's still not enough.
All of this would go viral and even led to Nick Briz sparking his own Instagram live. And unfortunately, in that live stream, he didn't really address much of what Chris White said. He really just tried to deflect and draw the attention back to him and his Savage Squad being in Rucker Park in the upcoming days. But while Nick tried his best to just completely avoid this entire thing, Chris White wouldn't let up at all, because he would continue going on and on exposing Nick Briz on social media each day, even telling him the fights that occurred in Nick's videos were actually paid actors. And the even crazier part was
I heard that.
No one on the team knew about this other than Nick Briz.
Guys out there that was talking shit the whole time, bro. You almost fought one of them, remember? Punch my face. Bro, those were fake paid characters, bro. Like, nobody knew it. I didn't tell nobody. I gotta get back to my being quiet about shit, bro. Like I was doing. Like, only you know and only I know, bro.
Yes, you heard that audio recording, right?
Yeah, I knew that. They were fake.
Paying people to fight his own team.
That's crazy.
Giving any types of warnings or anything of that nature, all for the sake of
views.
Content, which is the
Cloud is a dangerous drug, bro.
We knew that they were planning to go back to his hometown in New York City, and he didn't want Nick Briz to pull any of his funny stunts in New York, as it's a rougher area. And he didn't want any of these quote-unquote stunts to go a little bit too far.
Rucker Park. This is where everything went left. When you're from New York, you know the environments.
Right.
You know what's going on. You know who's who, what's what.
I ain't from New York, but I know Rutgers is the head. Like, you know, when you want to hoop, you go to Rutgers. When you want to see somebody hoop, you go to Rutgers. When you want to see maybe an NBA player come out and pop out of nowhere, you go to Rutgers. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They ball in parks, you know what parks are what, how they move, what the, the general standard of, going to play basketball is like there. You know that shit.
Right.
Nick's idea is to go to Rucker Park, and his statement is, I just want to play. We're just gonna go play regular basketball. I'm not doing. I know how to, handle situations. I'm not gonna go there and start a problem, man. And I told him, I said, bro, I don't think you understand. You can't just go to Rucker Park,
Right.
and think you're gonna film, and people are not gonna show out, and they're not gonna put premier ballers on us, and you're not gonna get a crazy run.
That'd be a good clip. That'd be a good video though. I don't know why that was like, you know what I'm saying? Why they didn't do it? Honestly, that would have been their probably best video.
All continued to get worse and worse for Nick as Chris would continue to expose him for taking advantage of his team.
Even though it was fake, I ain't gonna lie, fake.
The teammate that Chris was really referring to the most in these videos was Carlos, a fan favorite of the Savage Squad team who Chris claimed was autistic. He would allege that Nick was taking advantage of Carlos's disability by not paying him what he was worth at all, stating that Nick was only giving Carlos at most $1,200 per month.
That ain't enough, bro.
$40,000.
That is not enough.
He would take this all a step further, claiming that Nick Briz even forced Carlos to sign a contract where he would control not only Carlos's Instagram account, but he will also take 50% of all the money that Carlos made from his YouTube channel.
Wait. Who signed that? Did it? Well, I'm pretty sure Carlos did, but like, Carlos ain't had nobody with him, no family. Like, dang, man, that's some nasty shit to do to a person.
Oh man, free Carlos. Let me explain something. Carlos, first of all, Nick owns and controls Carlos's Instagram.
Which is fucking crazy.
When Carlos went to go play with Duke Skywalker, Nick booted Carlos out of it, changed the password, and then forced him to sign a contract where he's making $1,200 a month, okay, and getting no money off of merch or anything, and he can use Carlos's likeness, name, in every sense.
Yo, bro.
He locked him in. So he owns Carlos. And he owns his channel. He made it very clear that if Carlos ever leaves Savage Squad and goes to play with somebody else, he is going to own his Instagram, keep his Instagram, and keep his YouTube channel.
So of course,
that's fucked up, bro.
Information that was coming out about one of YouTube's top basketball.
That's fucked up. I'm not gonna lie.
The entire community stirred up because, as I said, they were one of the most viral groups on the internet at the time, and all of this is triggered reactions from
Alright.
as big as Flight, Cash, and even Dennis, which will ultimately only lead to even more drama. You see, Cash Nasty, a very respected
I remember this part.
community forever, was actually featured within one of Nick's videos.
I remember this.
Within that video, there was an altercation with the guy trying to press Cash, and it was later revealed that Nick actually paid this guy to start the whole confrontation. And with Cash,
I didn't know that.
It basically put a big dent in their friendship.
Didn't know that.
Someone who always showed Nick nothing but love. So of course he felt a little betrayed knowing that Nick would do something to possibly put his career or life in jeopardy, which Nick would later apologize for.
He ain't give a fuck.
You know, this would come from him. You know,
He ain't care. I wouldn't accept no apology from that. I ain't gonna lie. You pay somebody to try and instigate a fight with me? You know how much like backlash that could have had if Cash would have, like, you know what I mean? Bro, shady.
fast forward to now,
Shady.
bro, that shit really hurt me, bro. That shit really hurt me, Nick. Bro, I waited 3 days. I waited 3 days for him to just
Say
come
something.
up with a serious apology. You know, just hit me up. You know, I ain't gonna say that he didn't hit me up and didn't say my bad or something like that, bro. But the apologies was beat around the bush. It wasn't him taking accountability. You know, like I could respect the fact that you say, "Yo, you know what, Cash, bro? I done this right here. You know, my bad, bro. I got caught in a moment. You know, I got caught in the YouTube algorithm getting clicks or whatever it is. You know, and I wouldn't. I would have forgave him.
I wouldn't. But what? Hey, nah. I wouldn't forgive him for shit. But what? Nigga, you that thirsty for the clicks? that you gotta pay somebody to try and take me out. They try to take my career away from me, nigga. Nigga. Ain't no forgiving.
You know, because I would have had more respect for that.
And then
ain't no respect in that
situation, which was a lot more serious.
Yeah.
This beef didn't end so peacefully for Nick Briz.
Didn't.
Because you see, him and Duke had a bit of a long-running beef on social media that really stemmed from Nick continuously calling out Duke Dennis and AMP to play him in the Savage.
Which I remember the main thing why they didn't, because they don't hoop. They did basketball content, but AMP ain't a hooping type of team, like group. The only nigga in AMP that can really hoop is either between Duke and Davis. Chris can hoop, but that nigga's injury prone. As soon as that nigga touched the court, crack. But no disrespect to Chris, but yeah, the only nigga in AMP that can really hoop is, well, two niggas is Duke and Davis. And even back then, they were probably worse back then than they are now. Well, probably better. I don't know how many times these niggas hoop, but yeah, they weren't a basketball oriented group. So the fact that, you know, Savage Squad tried to hoop with these niggas, they ain't want to do it because they don't hoop.
5-5, which Duke would constantly deny due to AMP not having really any serious basketball.
Right, they don't.
To Nick trying to continuously troll Duke on social media, saying that he was scared and this and that, basically trying to force him to play. And eventually, that beef between the two of them would die down a little bit up until the point of July 25th, 2022.
Yeah.
AMP would drop their annual Double XL freshman cipher, and during that cipher, Kai and Phantom would take it amongst themselves to diss Nick Briz and some of their lyrics.
You a bitch, let's be real, you was never a shit. Oh, you fly, fake ass guy, that nigga, you can suck my dick.
So obviously,
I remember that. I remember when Kai made it known that, like, hey, you a bitch, nigga. You beefing with my dog, nigga. You beef with me, nigga. Beef with me.
nigga both faking his content, and at that point, it was about a year since Chris White had exposed him for everything he was doing. So around the time the cipher dropped, Nick was basically just clinging on to the last little bit of career he had left. But you see, after AMP dropped that diss, it kind of made him a little relevant again. So he decided to try to completely capitalize off this moment
And go to old block.
which is by being a quote-unquote menace. This led to him once again trying to start up this beef with Duke, taking some jabs at him on social media, and then he would do the unthinkable and pull up to Duke Dennis's hood, known as D Block, which is a neighborhood in South Carolina that Duke and his friends and family grew up in, that was nicknamed D Block to honor his late cousin D. So
Yeah.
in the video, when Nick pulled up to D Block, he didn't
D Block, dude.
bad. He was giving away basketballs to the kids. He was cooking on the grill, and he even had them do challenges and things for money. But the problem was he didn't really do this out of the kindness.
He did this for clout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To make Duke look bad. And after he was here filming for a very brief period of time, eventually word was spread that he was on D Block doing this whole fiasco, and that led to some of the
D Block demons. The D Block demons.
You keep posting all that crazy ass shit on Instagram and shit. Crazy stuff, bro. They been coming at me. Hey, bro, I'm no. You wanna let you know, bro?
Yeah, them niggas crash outs. Them niggas crash outs.
To the camera, telling you about this shit. Tell you respect, dude. Telling you respect, dude. It's really dumb. I'm telling you.
These dudes walking up on me looking mad and shit, got fucking glaring straight through my eyes. And I'm just like, oh shit, I might die. But thankfully I didn't, you know what I mean?
So after this, things really started to die down for Nick in his career. He burned almost all of the bridges that he had.
He did.
At this point, everyone knew he was a fraud, so the whole little fighting in the basketball videos thing wasn't really working out as much. So really the entire reason why people really enjoyed his content went completely out the window, and that's what led to him going from averaging over 1 million views per video to now struggling to hit 1,000 views within the past year. He recently returned to uploading on his YouTube channel just 4 weeks ago, and it seems like he's completely given up on the whole basketball content.
What is he doing now?
Now it seems like he's turned to gambling and doing content for gambling.
Gambling?
Of that nature, with his last 2 videos being college football.
Nick Briz best college football picks. Damn, how the mighty have fallen. My best college football predictions of week 0 have 1,000,000 wins. How the mighty have fallen. Damn. Damn. He resorted to gambling, man. The worst way to go.
Guys, so it's safe to say
Worst way to go, bro.
his content and not truly being himself, which will really ruin his career. And honestly, that was truly all just the surface level of all the things he got exposed for, because there was a lot of things that I didn't even mention. Like I said, he was being disrespectful to all of these YouTubers. He was taking advantage of his friends and teammates. I even remember Kai digging up an old tweet of him saying the N-word from like 2013. There was literally
I don't remember that.
in the span of like a year. It was insane. And while he's now doing content based around sports betting, I bet that he wishes he could go back in time and do this whole thing over again. But that's
Most likely.
my personal opinion. As you guys know, the only opinion that matters to me is y'all's. So with that being said, be sure to comment down below and let me know, what do you think of this entire situation? Do you think Nick Briz deserved this fall off? Did you enjoy his content, or you never did?
I think he deserved his downfall when he started talking shit and paid people to fight other niggas. That's when I think that deserved. At first, nah, cause it's like I don't really see. I mean, at first, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. When he started paying niggas, yeah. Other than that, I enjoyed the talking shit. I enjoyed the videos. Didn't like the nigga, but yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed, man. We out.